Please enter identification. AKO. Welcome back to Cyberia.
Hey, Zach, how's the ride?
Sporty. And how about telling me what's up?
Always to the point, my man. All right, here's the sitch. You'll rendezvous with the rig in about 10 minutes. Your contact is Santos. There's a TF-22 prepped and ready.
I've never...
Turn around nice and slow and disarm the weapon.
Hello and welcome to this week's Battle of the Ports as we take a look at Cyberia, a science fiction action adventure video game released for MS-DOS on December 2nd, 1994. Cyberia uses pre-rendered visuals during gameplay and boasted impressive graphics for the time. While mostly linear, there are 2 points in the game where the player makes a decision that can change the important outcomes. There are 4 basic methods of gameplay which Cyberia employs: exploring the environment through walking from node to node, attempting to complete puzzles in a full screen view, using a gun turret to shoot down planes, and flying in various vehicles. Detection and speed during flight are computer controlled while the player controls the weaponry. Various puzzles in the game can range from requiring the player to figure out the password on a computer to disarming a bomb, or on a stealth aircraft. Zack, the main character, can use his suit's blade, bio-optical low amplitude display energy system, to scan current puzzles in several ways for help in completing them. Puzzle difficulty and arcade difficulty are set at the beginning of the game, but setting both to easy is not permitted. If the player attempts to do so, the game will state that it will be too easy.
Manual operation. Target acquired. Target acquired.
Mayday, mayday!
Target acquired.
But one of the science officers has started to tell me some things. They're making incredible...
1994 saw the first port head on over to the 3DO. Actually, it came out in Europe in 1994, but didn't see a US or Japanese release until January 1996. This is pretty much the same as the DOS original version in terms of gameplay. I'd say in some areas the video footage is better, but in others it looks too soft. The controls during the flight sections are reversed, so now up is up and down is down. I prefer the standard flight controls where up is down and down is up. It just makes sense in a flight situation.
Damn.
In 1995, Cyberia came to the Fujitsu FM Towns, but could I hell get it to install? Yep, this is one of those games on the FM Towns that you need to install, but every time I installed it, there was nothing on the hard drive. So the best I've got to show you is the install screen. Oh well. January 1996 saw Cyberia come to the PlayStation, and it is one of the few compatible games with the PlayStation mouse. The game visually looks very much like the 3DO version in most areas, but there are one or two sections that do look a bit cleaner on the PlayStation. The loading is a bit of an issue at times. Within the first area alone, there were 2 occasions where I thought the game had crashed due to loading taking longer than I had experienced on the 3DO and MS-DOS versions. Still, it's not too bad, I guess.
This is Santos. Report to my office immediately. Take the door on the right and don't wander around.
Turn around nice and slow and disarm the weapon.
February 1996 saw the release of the Saturn port, which supports the mouse and mission stick in addition to the standard controller. Now, with Cyberia being an FM based game, you'd expect it to look worse than the PlayStation and 3DO, but in fact it looks identical to the PlayStation version. However, the Saturn port has a few extras. There are now shortcuts added to the buttons. The L trigger allows for instant access to the load screen. The B button allows you to access the game's gamma level, while the A button takes you straight to the options to allow you to control the pad speed amongst other things. While none of the versions of Cyberia are amazing, the Saturn version does come out on top due to the most control options and instant shortcut buttons.
Target acquired. Hostile targets approaching. Navigation systems active. Target acquired.
Let's take a look at all those versions of Cyberia running side by side.